Mind Walk! Welcome to Mind Walk. This Mind Walk is starting right after the last Mind Walk. We're sitting on a hill in Griffith Park, and we're already tired from just having hiked for an hour and a half. And so we're just going to start the next walk right at the end of the middle of the hike we're already on.
Yeah, but we took a big break. You could hear our exhaustion at the end of the last one, but I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Of course, I got so many things to stick in my pockets.
I'd like to continue my House of the Book dissertation.
Yes. Because you were talking about the kind of hike you like.
Yeah, so hiking up to House of the Book was always a challenging affair, especially when you're a little kid. As you get older and you get bigger and stronger, it's not as bad. But when you're quite little, you have to take a lot more steps. There's a wide road, but there would never be any cars driving on it. At least not while camp was in session, or they weren't having some kind of special event up there. And it was a hefty hike up that road. Just a lot of uphill on the road. It might take I want to think an hour. Especially
Really?
for the little kids. And it was always we're going to go up to House of the Book today. And you knew when that was on the schedule that you were in for some real exercise. You were in for something tough. Your heart rate was going to get up. You're going to get tired. You'd get through it. But it just seemed it's going to be forever. It's going to be a long, long hike. So it was probably among the first long uphill walks that I did where I had to confront that level of exhaustion and keep going. And have the satisfaction of making it to the top. I think I also developed my love for walking at Camp Alanim, because suddenly you'd be in this camp atmosphere and you'd be walking to the dining hall and you'd be dancing in front of the dining hall before the meals. And you'd be walking to the synagogue, you'd be walking from the pool to the bunks, and you'd be walking up to House of the Book, and you're just walking everywhere for weeks. Walk, walk, walk. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved all the walking. I loved going to camp and knowing I was going to get my walk in, and by the end of the sessions, I was always in better shape.
Yeah.
I mean, camp kind of should put you in better shape, right?
Yeah.
Camping.
Being outdoors.
So yeah,
So how old were you when you first started going to camp?
Good question. I want to say as young as 8.
It's interesting.
Maybe even younger, because I think I went to a day camp before I went to the main camp. Or maybe not. I don't know, but it was pretty young that I started. I definitely was I'm away from my parents. Oh no, I can't deal. No, please come pick me up. I hate camp.
And then somebody'd have to talk you out of it.
Yeah.
And you'd stay for the rest of it.
I mean, I had definitely some social issues that I had to work through there. I felt like an outsider, and I didn't feel like a cool kid, and some of the bullyish type people, I think, sensed this about me and kind of laid into me a little bit. Or maybe they just laid into everyone, but I just was...
You felt targeted?
I felt a little targeted, yeah. But I think also I was just a little more sensitive.
Sure.
So even if I was being targeted or not, I just didn't fucking take it.
I mean, we're artists. We're very sensitive.
So I wrote a letter, but I remember I was sort of in a performance mode when I was writing the letter. Because I would write a letter to my parents.
Sweetful father.
Exactly.
Here I am at Camp Granada.
What is it about... That song is it's in your head And it's in my parents' head. Like this, was this like the most funny song
It
ever?
was the
or
biggest.
something?
It was the biggest song probably for, at least something, easily memorizable, like right down the middle, just a sweet song, not a rock song or some big band shit or whatever.
When did that come out? What's
I want to say
story
I
of
feel
that
like
song,
56.
Really?
56 feels like the.
And what, it was released as like a single, or
I think probably
was it sold as an album?
It's probably the 60s now, because I'm thinking it's Sherman, right? Alan Sherman.
So is it a comedy song, basically?
It's a comedy song, and I think it was his first big hit. Oh, speaking of physicists, I think didn't you say he was a math teacher now?
No, that's Tom Lehrer.
Tom Lehrer.
Tom Lehrer did not write that song.
It was Alan Sherman, but I think he was talking about Jew camp. There's something interesting. There's something about this part of Griffith Park that reminds you of your Judaism. We've had 3 different hikes here and it's probably because this kind of hiking reminds you of those days.
Well, I mean, it's also in Southern California.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the hiking itself. There, of course, was also regular ass hiking at Jew camp, not up the House of the Book road that we did plenty of. There was even a hill called CIT Hill, as in Counselors in Training. And it said CIT on it in plastic bags. Not like small plastic bags, more just like these big sheets of plastic.
Like a big Hollywood sign kind of thing.
Yeah, and it would say CIT up there. And what the younger bunks would do is they would hike up there, sometimes in the middle of the night. Counselors would sneak them out.
Yeah.
They'd be like, all right, we're going to do the operation. We're going to go up to CIT Hill, and we're going to change it to B3 for Boys 3.
Nice.
And then later, depending on the year, some of the CIT groups would be lazy and just like let it not say CIT for a long time.
Well, they were more interested in going to the girls' camp
right
at night.
Well, the CITs have no problem with that. They're segregated by gender or by sex, if you prefer, but they can freely wander within one another's areas.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of taking a bunch of boys on a night mission, it's probably funner to hang out with girls.
I feel like we missed a piece of communication here. I'm saying that the young kids' bunks would go up and change it from CIT to something else.
I thought you were saying that a counselor would take them up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying then it wouldn't get changed back to CIT because the CITs themselves were too lazy to go up and change it back.
Oh, I'm saying it wasn't laziness. I'm saying that they were fraternizing with the women at night instead of wanting to go and do more work.
You framed it as they were sneaking out to do it, and I was just saying that they didn't have to sneak out to do it.
Yeah.
But no, I call it laziness.
Okay. Chase and tail can be a form of laziness.
Besides, I was a CIT. They weren't as sexually. They weren't like rabbits screwing or something.
So you were like what, 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9?
No, when we were CITs.
No, when you started.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then counselor in training, you probably started when you were 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was definitely plenty of sexual energy for sure, but I'm just saying when it came to the question of should we change it back, there would be a lot of like, I don't want to go hike up the hill. So that's where I'm bringing the laziness into it.
So, it's interesting, like I was saying,
and especially after it's been left for like a week or two of a 3-week session, it's like, okay, I guess it's just very low priority. And it is.
Yeah.
But a friend and I decided we're not going to let this stand. As soon as it's changed, we made a pact with each other. As soon as we see that it's changed, we find one another and we go up and we change it back, just every time. It was great for exercise.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it could be a game with the younger cabins to be like, oh, they changed it back. We got to change it back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add more iterations.
Exactly. So, yes.
Add more switchbacks. But then we were told not to change it back so quickly. After 3 or 4 times of doing this, and our counselors in training counselors or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call
they're
them, the
real
counselors of the
How
counselors.
you guys
in training.
doing?
Pull your mask up.
Sure.
20 feet, they say.
20. I heard it was 6.
Really? No, 20 feet.
Well, I heard it was 6.
Oh,
Black Lives Matter. Nice shirt.
We're very old, so we have to be very careful.
oh yeah. But you're out here challenging it.
That's right.
That's kind of the way I feel. It's like, well, it's worth the risk if I'm not going to get a heart attack.
You guys have a great day.
You too. Yeah, it's a beautiful one so far. Yeah. So far, so good. We still got another at least hour, I think.
So yeah, they told us not to
They're
go up
just
there
like-
and change it to give the
it's no
kids,
incentive. Yeah.
to give the kids some satisfaction of having conquered it.
Yeah. And also, like, we don't need to have these kids going out every night to. Like I said, this reminds you, this area reminds you of your Jew camp. I went to Angeles Crest Christian Camp. I feel like camps are popular among religious fanatic families, because then if you don't send your kid to religious camp, you can send them to YMCA, but the C still stands for Christian.
Yes.
But it's at least it feels like a secular camp. But
Yeah,
my
I
wife,
can't abide by it. I can't abide. You know why it feels secular? It only feels secular because Christianity is the
Is the
dominant
de-
religion
is
in
the de-
America.
the default.
That's the only reason that you could get away with calling a Young Men's Christian Association a secular thing.
Yeah,
It's
but
not.
It's a big gay hideout, though. Yeah, I know. I agree, but it's fucked up because it's both a super commercial endeavor, but they still take the nonprofit, the 501c tax break.
Have you ever heard of 20 feet?
Yes, I've heard 20 feet in the so when you're talking, so there are basically two distances, and the two distances are if you are unmasked
Yeah.
and among people, the fomite can possibly carry for 20 feet.
Uh-huh.
And it's like if you are yelling or breathing hard, then there's the 20-foot range. But then the 6-foot range is a basic, like, just default precaution zone that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, the fomite has the possibility of traveling that 6 feet, just as a matter of course. Like, we're all in a 6-foot bubble of fomites all the time,
Uh-huh.
you know. But yes, I have heard. But again, like, this is like how much. So, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Gotta head back that way or go that way?
Let's head back that way
Yeah.
because
We still want to get back to the car.
we're going to be fine. We've only just begun this mind walk, Sean.
Yeah.
But we can always overshoot it in the other direction.
It's true. So yeah, we.
So, I don't know. I felt like go ahead.
Yeah, I never got to be a counselor in training for whatever reason. I either was never asked or I never made inquiries. There was a part of me that really wanted to, but then I just stopped going at 11 or 12, right when I made my deal with the devil, was when I stopped going to Christian camp anyways.
Well, no. See, you made the deal with the devil because you stopped going to Christian camp, Sean.
Yes. That's
The Christian, they couldn't get into your brain anymore.
It's kind of true, because I think that was the summer my mom sent us away to stay with relatives, and friends and relatives in the Midwest in Detroit for the summer that she was studying for the bar exam. So she just needed us away for a couple months so she could concentrate on her studies. And it was while I was in Detroit that the devil got into me. So that was my first summer in like 5 or 6 years that I didn't go to Angeles Crest. And, I think a little bit of a part of that was like, I think my mom just didn't want my dad's Christian indoctrination getting into me anymore.
Oh, I see. So there was a split.
A part of the divorce.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. My mom, you know. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My mom was
Ding.
Bing. My mom was raised Catholic, but she was, ostensibly an atheist. At least we never went to church. She never brought up God in the house. She was a sciencey bitch. She, used to talk a lot about how different her Catholic upbringing was, her Catholic schooling was, because they told the Bible stories alongside evolution and science. She didn't say that they were competing ideas. She said that they were, one was spiritual and one was science, and that she could see the clear distinction between them growing up. That was a really good lesson from her, because I think that now, hello Barney.
Rolly Barney. Maybe just found a
little patch of pee.
Patch of pee, perhaps.
Yep.
It might not be horse pee. It could be any animal.
Yeah. He's just trying to get their scent on him. Right, buddy? Such a good boy. I know.
He really is kind of a wild dog.
Yeah.
He does the trailblazing. He wants the scents.
Yeah.
He's always scouting.
He's still an animal. He's still doing his thing. That's also, preserving that kind of wild nature is a kind of... I think it encourages his pack mentality when I don't have him on the leash.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was just watching some footage of David Cho in, let's say, the Congo. He was with some I forget what the name of the tribe is, but they would have, hello, 3 or 4 people in the hunting pack, and then a dozen dogs, just kind of going along with them. And so that was oh yeah, this is what a hunt should be, is a few humans, a few of their dogs, chasing up the prey, trying to find a, oh man, we've gotten pretty far, actually.
Look at this view of this totally torn up hillside. Are they going to grow some stuff on it, I guess? Because it looks like they've got some irrigation going there.
Yeah.
I mean, what a crazy... I feel like you could almost... Talk about building an amphitheater. You could build a Hollywood Bowl type thing right here.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's being built. Maybe that's the... I mean, it feels like some kind of just industrial thing. It's I don't want to say a wash. I just don't think we'd get floods this big that would come up this high into the hills. But it could be maybe a rain collection area. When it rains, this whole thing just it all floods down to that one specific spot. It kind of collects it all. Yeah, I don't know. If anybody does know, send us an email. Tell us what it is.
mindwalkpod@gmail.com.
You okay, bud? Yeah, he is. He's having a good time today. Do you want me to carry you a little bit? Okay. I'll carry you a little bit.
So I was very happy to pull my mask up, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And I really should in those kinds of cases.
Oh, yeah.
I got a little thorny. I was like, okay, the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was okay, and then she said the 20 feet thing, and then it was okay, is this just going to be a series of admonitions, kind of?
Yeah, I was waiting for her to say something about Barney.
But that's why I decided I felt okay, you're putting me in the position of being enemy.
Yeah.
I'm not respecting the mask thing. So, I mean, but I did because I, complied without question once we were passing. But still, I felt like assumptions were being made. We're in this point where I'm becoming the social enemy because, sadly, the masks are so socially charged, right?
Yes. I'll say this, though. When I see a person that actually just has, like that last person we passed, didn't even have a mask ready to go. Like, she was all ready to just be like, fuck all y'all. I'm sure that's not what's going on in her head.
So I decided to diffuse the situation because I noticed the gentleman. And for context, they were both white, but he was wearing a lovely blue, well, it was a blue shirt with white lettering, Black Lives Matter. So I was like, okay, I know what I can do here to make myself an ally. I can say Black Lives Matter, which they do.
Yes.
There's no question about it. And then once I said that, didn't the mood just change?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
All of a sudden.
Absolutely. I also got a little bit of the dynamic that the wife was a bit of a busybody.
Yeah.
And the husband's always got to be like, hey, great, hi, guys, right? Like,
we're picking up another plastic bottle. This one is Kirkland Purified Garbage.
Because, like water, like, from the toilet, like the stuff that goes in the toilet, that's just gross. Because you got to drink it out of a plastic water bottle, or it's not real. Like people say bottled water tastes better.
Who says that?
Well, I
know people say that, but I'm just like, who are?
So I
bottled water
explained to them.
Doesn't fucking taste better.
I explained to them. Oh, well, you know why you like the flavors? Because you like the flavor of the plastic that you're drinking.
Yeah,
you're like that. That's what you're really enjoying is the flavor of the plastic. And we know that BPEs cause humans to be a little slightly more estrogenic. It's the toxification that we get from the BPEs cause us to be a little more estrogenic, which makes us more kind of, I'll just say hormonal. But there's a compliance factor in estrogen more so than testosterone. So if you were a fucking tin fat Hoyle,
the new podcast with Tram Sipley.
Yes, tin fat oil. If you're a tin foil hat wearer, open your third eye. You'll see that putting these BPs in the fucking water that everybody drinks.
Is it turning the frogs gay, Sean?
Well, it is, yes, or whatever. It's causing a hormonal imbalance, but it's also causing something in us. And maybe the addictive aspect of people drinking bottled water has a lot to do with, obviously, the marketing. That's one of my favorite things in Idiocracy is like they were all drinking sports drink because I imagined at some point 20 years prior, there was an ad campaign being like, you drink water like from the toilet.
I think that was an ad that was in the...
Yeah, but they kept on repeating it like it'd been around a while because the whole world was in collapse because they were watering everything with... So I just think it was a long-term ad campaign that had been in the culture a long time.
Was the thing when the Dax Shepard character was told like, where's the water? And he's like, from the toilet? Like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But we didn't actually see the ad that did it. And I just think it was just a huge Brondo or whatever it was, just did a huge ad campaign where they were probably being ironic. And then just the idiots
tell them straight.
Yeah.
Just tell them straight. You want to drink water like from the toilet?
Like a fucking pussy. Like a poor person. Only poor people drink their toilet water.
But here's the thing about the toilet water, Sean. The thing that would make me not want to drink toilet water is the stuff that's in the toilet that the water is then touching.
Sure, but my dog growing up,
the water itself.
My dog growing up all the time would drink out of the toilet.
Well, do dogs not have hardier
immune systems? Yeah,
because they deal with so much of that stuff all the time.
Yeah, and they're licking their buttholes. I mean, that's their biggest hobby usually. But the other thing I'd say is like, if there is a disaster, if you keep your toilet relatively clean, like I tend to brush my toilet after certain activities almost every single time. Now, I wouldn't start with that water, but the stuff that's in the tank. That's your disaster water.
Well, of course, if you need water.
That's your fucking disaster water.
Yeah, I would definitely go for the tank.
Yeah.
But,
We all got two gallons.
as long as you're getting water in there,
yeah.
yeah,
Over
you can-
here. Get out of the road,
you
Debbie.
can drink it for sure. I mean, whatever my gripes about toilet water, if it was the only water to drink,
Yeah.
of course I'd drink it.
Yeah.
Now, but here's the thing about the water. It's really rather unfortunate how fit for drinking the toilet water is. Are we really walking up this road?
I'm just trying to figure out, or we could just go back the way we came.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We could walk up the road. I guess we could deal with a little bit of the traffic. It wouldn't kill me necessarily. Just as soon as we got here, 2 cars passed, so I'm thinking like, oh, is this going to be like a traffic-y road? 3, 4.
Well,
I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate how drinkable the toilet water is, because
Hey.
our sewage system,
Come on.
it cleans this water, right? So it's safe for drinking or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the same water that comes out of the faucet that should be suitable for drinking, in spite of its various impurities, is the same water that goes to the toilet, right?
Yes.
And water is heavy
Yes.
and requires a lot of energy and infrastructure to move around.
Yes.
So the water has to be cleaned, then sent to the toilet just to fill it up, and then just to be flushed away, and then sent to be purified again.
Just to be shit in. We have to shit
Yeah.
in it first.
So really what we need is a sewage system.
How's it going? It's a beautiful day.
Oh, we got a Barney the Wonder Dog pup.
Yeah, he's a trooper. He's a little beat, but we'll get him a horse trough here in a minute.
Ugh. So we need a system that takes gray water either from the home itself, like takes the shower water or takes water that was just running in the sink and perhaps does some kind of light purification.
Yeah.
Just gets all the chunky stuff out,
Yeah.
and turns it into water that then goes into the toilet, and then it gets flushed out.
Yeah. I agree.
Toilet water, there's no goddamn reason the toilet water needs to be as clean as the water that we're drinking out of the faucets.
Yeah.
It just doesn't need to be. So while we can drink the toilet water, I would really rather that it were a more dubious proposition than it is, because I would prefer that water be clean enough, but not need the same standards for purification as the rest of the water. I mean, we are in a water shortage. We're in a desert.
Yeah.
We're in Los Angeles.
And we throw a gallon and a half out.
We don't need to purify that water, ship it to the toilet just to be shat in to go out. It's a total waste of resources. Total waste.
Well, we need compostable toilets.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And our gray water needs to be turned directly into irrigation water for plants and stuff.
That was part of Ron's tiny house idea. I think he abandoned it,
The compostable.
but at a certain point he was like, okay, we're going to compost all the shit. I love it. I understand that shit is shit. But as we digest, we're brewing this fertilizer. I mean, that poo is energy dense. We've got it. We're making it all the time. And then we just kind of send it into the ocean.
To let
I would like
the
that
fish
to be
deal
used,
with it.
If all of our shit could be used for fuel, and I understand we can talk about how we would do that and in what way we could do that in the most environmentally friendly way possible, so we're not just burning shit into the air directly, because, for example, in the slums in India that I visited, they were burning cow pies all the time. And they would be burning cow pies in their kitchen to cook their food and breathing in that shit, literally.
Yeah.
So, but look, if we're burning shit for fuel, be it literal shit, or be it coal, or oil, or gas, we're burning it anyway. So why go through the trouble of killing brown people overseas? Well, I guess now America is the largest oil producer, or perhaps the largest oil exporter, I think, maybe. But, why go through all that trouble when we're just brewing it ourselves all the time?
Oh, yeah. It's
Close
wasteful.
the loop.
It's wasteful.
Find a way to, instead of wasting clean water on transporting our waste around and for no other purpose, let's keep that fresh water for drinking, and let's use our bodily fuel. Instead of just discarding it, find a fucking use for it. And there are uses for it. It's not a sexy subject. Perhaps to some it is a sexy subject. But nevertheless, there's a lot of literature out there about using
Did you say
poo
literature?
Literature, yes.
Literature.
Literature.
Yeah.
Literature leisure. Don't do that. Pick up literature leisure.
Man.
I guess it's not the kind of thing you necessarily want to bring up on a first date. What do you think of
Poop.
and composting our own shit? Although, again, if that was your life, do bring it up on the first date. Be comfortable. Be that comfortable. And you'll find the partner just like, yeah, I think about composting my own shit out all the time and turning it into tomatoes and then eating it.
Guys, if you want to hang out, send a message, date at mindwalkpod.com. No, at gmail.com. And say, hey, I want to talk about poop.
And Barney will deliver every time.
Yeah. The horse trough is right there.
Oh, want to get to the horse trough?
Yeah, I'm going to give Barney a dip.
I have a feeling that this episode title is going to be shit.
Yeah.
Or maybe shit water.
Yep.
Shit water.
Yeah.
The toilet water. The water is shit. We got on this because of the shit water that is Kirkland's signature.
Shit water.
Shit water, right?
Led us to Idiocracy, which is people keep on saying like, I didn't know Idiocracy was a documentary.
I would have liked to have been more equanimous.
Equanimous?
Is equanimous like chill?
Yeah.
With the lady we passed.
Yeah.
I was a little bit feisty.
She had a little.
I didn't need to be.
She had a little no chill, and of course I get a little. I mean, I already had my mask up by the time, I saw him coming. I was like, throw it on, and I'm trying to always put myself in like don't need to. I mean, I in my head I kind of think of it as going invisible. Like I just don't want to present any reason for the person to, interact badly with me. I want to just go as flat as possible. Putting on the mask, I didn't want any guff about Barney. That's also why I try to diffuse most situations with being like, it's a beautiful day.
Right.
Just to put people...
Talk about the weather.
Yep.
Very British.
Yeah, just be like, this is a neutral thing. This is I'm setting the tone. I'm like, we don't have to get personal. It's very just like, I'm not flirting with you. I'm not threatening you. I'm trying to bring joy in this little moment. It's just a little like, I suppose for part of it, it's a little bit of a dominance thing. I'm just going to set the tone. It's going to be fine. And I didn't do it with her because she already preempted us by yelling at you.
Also, to my own fault, I had not heard the 20 feet. And so I was like, it just sounded so ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? 6 feet is already 6 feet. Like 20 feet? What? I just had never heard it. And, that's my own lack of knowledge.
Yeah, it's the if you dig deep enough, they did like right at the beginning, they did all those like video kind of representations of the different ways that the water vapor and foam ice could. Oh, look at that.
Oh, Barney found just a little bit of water to drink.
Yeah, a little water source. Fresh water coming right out of this pipe. This broken pipe.
Well, we're speaking of water, are we not? But
Perfect,
even
huh,
though
bud?
I was being aggressive in my tone, I
Okay.
still wanted to say I heard 6 feet. I didn't want to say she was wrong because I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
So I just said I heard it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to correct you because I knew we could have a conversation about it later. This is a perfect little dog bowl.
Oh, look at that. The pipe is broken in just the right spot. That indentation must be forming because
Of the water.
the water.
It's like a water catchment.
A little bit of shade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the filthy toilet water drinker can drink the dirt water. That's the other thing that I like is like I see so many people that are super careful about what their dogs. Like I don't want them to drink like gutter water or anything that has any kind of too much industrial to it. But he's already a picky eater, so if he decides that a water source is okay for him, I'm gonna let him figure it out. He seems to be okay most of the time. I also have this theory that when people are too kind of assertive with their dogs, the dogs get sick faster. I think Barney knows what's right for him, mostly. I mean, I think he's just not aware of cars as something dangerous. So standing out on the road, it's such a weird, magical, invisible barrier that we are aware of. Mm-hmm. That dogs, they just can't perceive it.
Yeah, it's just more ground to them.
Yeah. But we see the secret markings. And we're like...
You could probably train a dog to know what the road is, right?
Yeah, and he has kind of a sense. Like, especially when we're at home, he knows where the part where I'm always like, let's go, come on. He knows to go across that street fast. And I think when we're on, walking along a street, in general, he's kind of cognizant of the curb line. But but yeah, it's still like he just doesn't have an awareness of, I'll just say why it's dangerous. He's just conditioned to have a certain feeling about it because of me, Because also the times that he has been out in the street and a car has been coming and I've yelled at him, he'll just stop in the middle of the street and the car will stop. And I'm just like, at least his obedience level is just like, okay, I'm stopping, rather than running away or darting away, which I super appreciate, even though it seems like a dumb behavior. I'd rather go and risk swooping him up out of the path of a car than him running farther away and getting into more trouble. But it's only happened 2 or 3 times in the 2 years.
Well, and once again, I appreciate your recently higher level of diligence when it comes to the early swoops.
Yeah.
The preemptive swoop. And the Barney car routine. I know it took a lot of conversation to get there, so I want to continue to give you positive reinforcement and say that it is not invisible to me and that I appreciate it very much.
All carrot and no stick. I appreciate that.
Barney has not been doing his foot gnawing routine. Speaking of stick.
He did it so much yesterday.
Oh,
what a cutie. What a cutie pie. What a cutie. Oh, you are such a cute puppers. He's just such his own dog. He's like, I'm tired. I'm going to lay here.
No, it is definitely a behavior. Barney's behavior is definitely not like most of the dogs I interact with. Part of that is because I'm getting to know Barney so well, so
yes.
Perhaps I'm seeing some little things.
Yes.
But yeah, the lack of the leash has given him so many hours and hours and hours to find his own mode of being and how he wants to run around and walk around. And I can definitely see that. It's definitely a different kind of dog.
Yeah. You know, I sometimes I look at dogs that are like very like kind of leash trained, and they definitely like to me. There's a look in their face where they look like slaves or something, where they just look broken in their face, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm here on the leash. Isn't this great? Yeah." You know, and to me, it's like there's this old adage, whatever, like dogs start looking like their owners, something like that.
Yeah.
Something. I forget what it is. But what I think that really is like, if you have somebody who's a nervous wreck, eventually the dog's going to be a nervous wreck.
Yep.
If you have somebody who's a fucking wild man like me, eventually the dog is going to be a wild dog.
If you have someone who overeats, they're probably going to overfeed their dog.
Yeah. It's
No, we've been to this fence many times before. Last time we were at this fence is when we went to the zoo.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, are we going to be passing by the zoo? Or
no, we're on a different part of the...
I wonder if the animals in the zoo are feeling great these days. I mean, they're still in captivity and so not feeling great, but at least there's not all these fucking slack-jawed yokels coming by and gawking at them constantly.
Dance for me, monkey! Dance, I said!
So they can just chill.
Yeah, just be animals. But I also think, like, the energy of crowds has got to be somehow, like, just weirdly disturbing to them. Like, these possible predators, you know, just a few yards away from them.
Yeah.
And they got to just be like, hey, guys, yeah.
We're just trying to be giraffes over here.
Yeah. I think, you know, after a while they probably do get accustomed to it, but, you know, it's not going to account for the screaming kid or the weird smells of food that they're going to be assaulted with.
Or, all the corn dogs and...
Yeah. I mean...
whatever else they sell at zoos.
I don't know if you were old enough to experience the San Diego Wild Animal Park when it still existed.
Maybe.
So originally, in the 70s and 80s, or the early 80s, you could drive through that thing, and fucking animals, they'd be just on the other side of little fences. But yeah, they were right there. You know, there's pictures of people getting their hats licked off by water buffaloes and stuff like that. But then, of course, the animals start fucking with the cars and possibly hurting the humans. So then they put in like a tram system and a gondola system, and you could see them that way. And then eventually they're just like, we can't let people be this close to animals not in enclosures. I think it was a great idea because I feel like if there is going to be any kind of zoo, it should be more like that.
Well, yeah. My sister was very sensitive to zoos. Remember, I visited her in Berlin.
Oh yeah,
one summer. That was the Axis tour because I was living in Japan and then decided to fly from Japan to Germany to go visit her.
Did you go to Italy also?
No.
Damn.
So it was only partial. I've never been to Italy. Definitely want to go for some food. I've been to Greece though. So.
Yes. Well,
anyway, we were in Berlin and I was like trying to find stuff to do.
So you went to the Berlin Zoo?
No, we didn't go to the Berlin Zoo.
Oh, shit.
Because I suggested it, and she was like, oh, I don't like going to zoos.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I got a little annoyed by this because, as I've spoken of about my sister, perhaps I have, perhaps I haven't, but, yeah, she has a very particular, like, when she likes or doesn't like things, it just comes out very strongly. She's not one to be like, I'm not really in the mood for that, but like, okay. I'll do that. But if she is not in the mood for something, it's like a very hard no.
Binary.
And there's no negotiating around it. I guess, but it doesn't really come out as a really hard no. It comes out as a, I don't know if I'm feeling that.
But that's really a hard no.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, if you're not really feeling it, well, then let's feel it out a little bit. Let's negotiate a bit. But it's not really a negotiation, you know.
It's her way of baiting you into her ideology.
Whereas if I say, I don't know if I'm feeling that, then it'll be like, oh, but what about this? Oh, but wouldn't it be better if we did that? And what do you think about mom and dad? You know, it's like all the other shit will come out, all the excuses will come out. So I was feeling that, and I was like, oh, she's just like saying no to everything I'm throwing out, you know. But she was like,
Let's get some schnitzel on the Autobahn.
But she said, I think I definitely did get some schnitzel. It was good. I had to.
Yeah.
I saw the Berlin Wall, and then I got some schnitzel.
Did you go on the Autobahn?
No.
I don't know. That was the name of the album.
In the Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski. Los Angeles is Lebowski town. Lebowski.
Lebowski. Oh, speaking of, we've reached the halfway point. Ladies, gentlemen, folks, look at this. Got even a different view. Is that downtown Glendale?
I don't know. You want it to be Pasadena and Glendale pretty bad.
No, it's not.
Cut. Mind Walk. Hold on there, Sean.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hold on there, Sean. Take a breath.
Okay.
We got to get through it, but we can't at the expense of taking this bit of time to acknowledge each other and to acknowledge Barney, to breathe in a little air, to take a drink of water. I was jealous of Barney's water earlier.
Right?
Now
and he looked like he was super enjoying it, too. Like, he was even giving us a little bit of a look like, you guys want to get in on this? A little bit of that look. Because he loves us. Because we're part of the pack, and he cares. And he knows if he's tired, we must be tired. He's got an extra gooey eye. Oh!
Bless you.
His left eye's extra gooey today. Oh, such a good boy.
You know, I've got a long week. I've got a long week ahead of me, Sean.
Yeah.
But doing these walks, it's putting spirit in my tank. I'm going to be able to get through it. Because I got this good time.
Fill it up with the light of God, brother. the Son of God.
Now I understand why you're both a super Christian and an atheist, because you're literally just getting half of it from one parent and half of it from the other.
Yeah. Robot mom and sad dad. Robot mom was like, you are a human experiment. There is no God. Sad dad was like, we gotta go see. I grew up in the church. I'm an elder at the church. We gotta go. Like, he wasn't that sad, but he definitely had a bit of melancholy. He was, oddly enough, even though he had the melancholy, he was still the more joyous, passionate parent. You know, he was just broken down by life. You know.
Well, you can build up your life with Mind Walk.
Yeah, go on a little walk.
You can build up your life by getting into your town, dig into the crevices of your town.
Yeah.
And find all the little places where you can go and be
a human.
Yeah.
Just be a human.
Be an off-leash human.
An off-leash human. Take off your leash. Take off your collar. You're the only one holding the leash. You might think it's the government, Q, Jesus,
the boss man.
These dommy mommies in your life. You're the only dommy mommy. Crack that whip on yourself and get out and enjoy life. Drink some water. I see another balloon. You see it over there?
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to get it today.
It's just tumbling in there. It's red and shiny.
Yeah. Hey, so if somebody wants to come out to Griffith Park, you'll see what part of the trail we're on. There's
a red balloon that needs picking up.
Yep.
Clean up on Isle Park.
On Isle Iredell.
Subscribe to Mind Walk.
Yeah.
Follow Mind Walk Pod on all social media.
Yeah.
It's just two guys and a dog hiking and talking.
Yeah.
And go to the Mind Walk Patreon, the Mind Walk Pod Patreon, and Join the capitalist dystopian nightmare for $1.99. What do you get for $1.99, Sean?
Nothing!
You get nothing. You get nothing. For $5, become a trail angel and get
all
5 mind walks a week.
Yeah.
You're going to get them all for August. But
anyway, yeah.
You're going to get them all 5 of them, and we will give you our gratitude and stuff. And you might even get some of our gratitude in the capitalist dystopian nightmare, but you won't be able to really enjoy it because it'll be so heavily commodified. But the Trail Angel, $5, that's a totally uncommodified appreciation.
Yeah, 7.5 hours of content. Free content. Well, $5 a month content.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to give
free content because we feel so free when we do it.
Give it when we make it.
And otherwise you'll get 2. You'll get the Monday and you'll get another random one. And you can become a Barney the Wonder Dog for you can become a Barney the Wonder Dog Cadet for $10, and then you'll get all the mind walks, and you'll also get pictures and video of the hike too.
Yeah. And whatever bonus content. It'll all funnel into that $10 tier. Then we haven't decided on a name yet, but it's like almost like super angels or archangels. Yes, you become an archangel and go on a hike with us. For $100 a month, yes, it's an outrageous amount. It is a crazy, outrageous amount. But if you got a little fucking business that you want to promote and you're local to Los Angeles, it might be a valuable level to do, because at least once a month you'll have almost a whole hour and a half to just to promote your idea.
On
Mind Walk. Is that a cut point?
Yeah, I'll cut the first
false
and
mind.
Make it the second. I'll cut the first and make it the second.
So can we
we'll
call it
make it the second the first, the third will become the last, and the first will become the worst, and the worst will become the fifth, and the fifth will become the seventh, and the seventh will become the ninth, and the ninth will become 11 and 12, and the 12 will become 15, and 15 becomes 19, and 19 becomes -3, -3, -3, -3. You never thought it would be -3, -3. -3.
You're really burning some calories right now. Damn, you're like Barney biting on our shoes. You're like, okay, I know we've been hiking a while, but I want to burn some calories. I'm in such a mode of just like hungry, thirsty, hot, just move my body efficiently to get back to base camp.
25 is 100 less than 81, then 81. 25 is 100 less than 81, then 81. 63 is 22 more than 15, then 15. 63 is 22 more than 15, which is 999,999,998 more than 1. Then one, and you're almost done. But -3, -3, -3, -3. You never thought it would be -3, -3.
I didn't think it'd be -3. Really, when you like pull back the little square, you're like, fuck, why the fuck is it -3?
I think I just wrote a new song, Sean.
Yeah.
I think this is a good comedy song.
Yeah.
Just random numbers in association with each other, doing math that isn't right.
Oh, yeah.
And then coming back to -3 that you never thought it would be.
It almost feels like a kid's song. Like, normally you'd like use it to like want to teach kids math, but it's almost like teaching them the nonsense of the world.
Yeah.
You think, go into accounting, everything is -3. Go into government, numbers don't make any sense.
Well, I can start the song. The intro to the song can be like, now children, we need to know about our numbers because you are going to use math in everything you do. Yep.
Everything you do. I'll tell you, I've had various underground work endeavors where being able to do math in my head on the fly was the strongest skill. Mm-hmm. People skills help, but like just being able to just bing, just do it in my head and do it fast. Yeah. I think we need to go this way. How's it going? It's a beautiful day. You got all the right kind of hat going on.
They had some hiking music going too.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so loud. It
Yeah.
was just loud enough for them to hear. And
Felt-
just a little bit as we were passing by. I like that.
Very personal. I
Keeping
feel
it
like
contained.
a little bit.
Not like my
it-
math song, which
Yeah.
the world needs to hear. And I want to hear the heavy metal cover of it, of that number song.
Oh yeah,
It's not really a math song, it's a number song.
it's a number song. You ever watch any bit of Mitchell and Webb? It's a British comedy show,
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
but they have a sketch called Number Wang,
Uh-huh.
which is very similar to your song.
I've heard of Number Wang.
Yeah.
I just know I have. You know what might be nice to get a view of? To get around and find the view of that concrete slab we've been eyeing. See what the progress is on it.
We'll kind of be in that realm. Definitely seeing hoof prints.
Sean, I'd like to do a speeding check.
Yeah,
Speeding
Oh.
check.
sure. I
Looking
gotta-
good?
Yeah, 11 minutes.
Just with all the tiredness and the length of the mind walk, I just felt it might be a good idea to
Yeah, good,
do a
good
little
check,
speeding
good.
check.
I also, one of the things that we've kind of done by design is make this as effortless and foolproof, because we do have a couple of fools on this podcast, as possible. Just, yeah, we got to do a little, we forgot to slate
Yeah.
a stretch of, but I've noticed that I could probably sync based on our mind walks. Just look at the wavelength of our mind walks, and they tend to be,
Well, that'll get you
Pretty
real
good.
close.
yeah, pretty good.
But we'll find a place where there's some phasing to check, right?
Yeah, for sure. But that's what you do. You get it close on that, and then you see where the phasing is, and then you adjust it based on the phasing.
Because we don't start saying mind walk at exactly the same moment, is the thing.
No. What I'm saying is the general graph of the mind
Yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
they tend to kind of align pretty good.
I think on yesterday's broken down, tired Mike mind walk, I think maybe I broke through some barriers, Sean.
Yeah, I think you did.
I broke through some silliness barriers,
Oh, for sure.
and they're coming through now.
On the reg, a little more on the reg, amplified a little bit.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
It's a good way to fill a few moments of content, I'll tell you what.
Tell you what. Well, again, like, though, eschew the feeling of trying to fill in content. Try to be just present
Correct.
in the moment.
Correct again, Sean.
And this is the art.
Correct as always, Sean.
When we're
you
not.
are always right. You are always 100% of the time super not wrong.
I'm never not wrong. This is the art, right? The art is almost trying not to make art. Almost.
Ooh.
Almost, but not quite.
We're trying not to make art.
Yes. Artless art.
So in other words, we want people to say that's not art.
Yeah, they can try.
Well, that's a good response.
Yeah.
That's not art. And we say, you know, thank you.
Yeah.
We're really
Woo.
trying not to make
Try
it
not
art.
to make art.
We haven't quite got there yet.
We'll keep trying. One more episode. Maybe it'll be totally artless. Maybe it'll be without any kind of artistic value whatsoever.
But you see, then I can point to the -3 song
Yeah, right?
and be like, well, isn't that art?
How you guys doing? It's a beautiful day.
I think anyone who says that Mind Walk isn't art would probably be very likely to say that the -3 song also isn't art, even though it so clearly is.
It's improvised, it's ad hoc, but yet still art. 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 Is that art? I mean, it literally is.
It
the
is
word art. Is it artful? Is it artless art? Art.
Well, look,
I just made art.
Art. Cart.
That's
the
what
shopping cart, Sean. The shopping cart.
Art.
It's a car, but it's art. It's a cart.
Yes.
It's an art car.
Art car, like from Burning Man.
Yep.
We see you, burners. We see
Have
who
you
you
ridden
are.
the giant duck, the disco duck?
Oh, I was going to mention one of the cut scenes from Idiocracy
Yeah.
is the Luke Wilson. I can't even remember his character's name. It was just some dumb average name, right? Like Ethan or
Oh
something.
yeah, it had like a John Smith type or John
Yeah.
Doe kind of name, right?
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be like the most average guy with the
Yep.
average name.
And then, of course, Maya Rudolph is the most average woman they could afford. Nice commentary on human trafficking there. But in a cutscene, he's looking for the Museum of Art. And every time he says it, people are, you're looking for the Museum of Art? Of Art? And then he finds it, and it's literally like one of those walk-through diorama museums where you press a button, it's like a caveman and he farts. And it's a fun, stupid, silly cutscene. But I get why it was cut. It's just such a belabored joke.
Ah. Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that scene.
Yeah.
I think he should have gone to the Museum of Art and there should have been one piece there and it should have been Duchamp's toilet.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably was the first piece in the Museum of Art.
There's no doubt that they thought of that joke
Oh, yeah.
when they were writing it and decided not to use it.
So we're going to invite Mike Judge. I bet you I could get Mike Judge on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, my friend Nicole
Really?
went on a few dates with Mr. Judge. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, we got to be careful. Not careful, meaning like I want to time it at a time when it's going to be valuable for us. Right?
Why is now not valuable? Or not now, but a week or two or whenever we've got our guests.
I think we want to have Mr. Judge behind the paywall.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so.
I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. You have him in front of the paywall, and then you don't have any shit behind the paywall, and it's like, fuck. What did I do?
Well, look, if we get enough guests of whatever gravity, right, then you can put some of them in front of the paywall. Be like, look at the kind of shit we get, right? And this is just a small taste of what's behind the paywall. So I think perhaps you're feeling more precious about it because it'd be like the only one.
Yeah, but again, like I don't know. Like I'm definitely starting to feel like if we had a producer, we could book a guest almost every day. Why not? Just have them show up at the hike, and we go on the hike and we record it. Like if we didn't have to do much work to make it happen, it'd be wonderful to have a guest on every single hike. And I'm going to make this promise. Well, okay, I'm going to make the promise, but I'm also going to promise to break it. I won't drag Mike Judge through the fucking brambles.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, maybe I'll make an offer, a little soft offer. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to do this, it might be a little, be outside of your comfort zone. We might be slipping and sliding on the hill.
Well, we can make that offer to any of the guests.
Yeah.
Anytime we hit an area, we could say, hey, do you want to take the road less traveled or do you want to
stay on the
path?
Yeah.
But yeah, if they want to turn around, of course, at any time, then we can.
Yeah.
It would be, talk about I don't know, the kind of art that you might like, though. Wouldn't it be kind of fun? You'd say, hey, come on our podcast, we're going to go on a hike. It's like, oh, that sounds swell. And then suddenly it's just like immediately veering off into brambles. Like, what the hell? What is this shit? What are you doing? Why are we doing this?
You know, but again, 1.5 hours, 1 hour and a half.
Yep.
I'm not going to put them in there.
No, that's gross.
Too many cigarettes and bees. But I am.
Enjoy a mind drink. Arnie's getting just the tiniest bath. Not in the bath, more of a shower, I guess. Fresh water.
A French bath. What do they call that?
Oh, see, there you go again.
I am a racist against the French. But they're the dominant culture, or one of the dominant cultures. It's okay to make fun of them. I just never make fun of the French people from the countryside of France. Only Parisians. Specifically, only Parisians.
I feel you're more willing to dive into, like, I don't know, like identity comedy, identity differences, identity
distinctions,
like distinction and labeling, and like, this is a good thing about this culture, that's a bad thing, and it's like willing to kind of make certain things like inherent to a culture or a race even.
Sure, yeah.
Then I get a little like uncomfortable around that. I always try and universalize, or be like, well.
Yeah, but the tough part about that is like very few non-Jewish people speak Hebrew. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is like there are certain cultural things that are kind of extruded from the language, from the food, from the location where they live. There's just certain ways that people behave because of those happenstances, right? It would shock the shit out of me if I was hanging out with a friend that I thought was a goy, and they started using Hebrew terms. I'd be like, "What? Oh yeah, well, my stepfather was Jewish." I'd be like, "Oh, see," and then you'd get this kind of way of understanding the person in a different way.
Yeah, but those are that's a skill though, knowing a language and stuff. But I'm not saying that. Of course, I know there are cultural differences, but I don't know. You seem to relish it a bit, to be like, this is the Mexican divorce, and this is the French bath. Like you really like to add that aspect to it.
Well, I think it also, I know it gets under your skin a little bit. I don't think I bring it up that often. How you guys doing? It's hot.
And I'm not pointing this out to make a critical statement. I'm more just exploring. I've noticed it a little bit.
Well, I think
recently.
let's say if you and I are talking about it, there's a space to actually like explore the idea, right? Right? Like if I say it somewhere else, if I'm saying it around a person that I know is maybe a little bigoted, then it feeds a certain bigotry in that person.
Yeah, well, it opens the door for that kind of discussion.
And I just tend to not go that direction with people that I have already kind of identified as being willing to go there, as it were. But with you, it's like you're going to maybe call it out a little bit, and then I can try to justify it maybe in a comedic way, and then lose my footing, and then, okay, well, maybe I agree with you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's basically like, I'll just say clown play or fool play. Say something fucking, like, that could be totally off mark, and then have to kind of like wrestle my way back to it, fall backwards into the right position, because again, what is a French bath? It's basically just a sink bath, And I thought a Mexican divorce was just a quickie divorce, but the ultimate fastest divorce would be to kill somebody.
I learned, and I just took the professor's word for it, so really I could stand to do more research on it. But that while men are more likely to be violent towards women in marriage, or I guess you could say husbands more likely to be violent towards wives in marriage, beating and other forms of physical abuse, that the murder rate is higher of the other way around, wives murdering their husbands.
Yeah.
And the way he said it in his Iranian accent was like, he's like, because men use their fists and women, they go for the kitchen knife.
Yeah. Well, and I think that
When they want to do violence, they aim to kill.
Well, because they have to. Because I think when you're talking about, like, let's say asymmetrical warfare,
Yeah.
you have to strike such a violent blow,
Because otherwise they'll,
retaliate.
yeah.
So, and probably that initial time when a woman murders, she's probably been the victim of abuse for years.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, fuck, I've had enough of this.
Got to get out.
Gotta get out. Hello. Uh-oh. The guard dog, he's got to sniff you guys out.
So, Sean,
Yes.
I was doing it a bit for a while, and now I'm just not doing it anymore. Promoting the mind walk to everyone that we walk by. And I don't feel like I have to, but it does feel a little bit like there's these people that all could be potential listeners, and we're not reaching out to any of them, you know?
It's tough because I think that some people give off the vibe of wanting to engage,
Yeah,
but on this hike, nobody's been giving off that vibe.
that's true.
That a little bit, but they were really just like kind of had a mind your own business kind of vibe to them.
Yeah,
but then, and I think
guess,
I think there's a tendency on this hike in Griffith Park specifically because it is, I think, where kind of like it's a default hiking zone for just Angelinos. Oh, I know there is a park to go to, but where if we're going to other, like even Nancy Hoover,
right.
it's like it's just a little friendlier of a vibe. Hey, Barney, chill out. Barney. Oh, that's our same friend.
That's our same friend?
Yeah. Okay. He's pretty careful. Yeah. No, he's yeah, thank you. Huh. Different person, a little bit of the same warning. Yeah, it's. I think it's just you get friendlier hikers on different hikes. I don't see Fryman being that friendly. Nancy Hoover's a little friendly.
Well, Fryman, you get a lot of people, so there are more chances for encounter.
Yeah.
So though the average of how many of them might be friendly, it's pretty low, the number of encounters is so high that you might get one.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, it's weird. Like Sepulveda Dam seems to be like kind of the friendliest. And I think part of it is because it's a flat walk. It's like there's not much like uphill exertion. Like when people are exerting themselves, they may not necessarily be, but that's probably the best time to market to them.
Right. Right. But yeah, some of them might just be on the, I'm here to exercise, so I'm not in the zone of wanting to talk to people. I want to keep my heart rate up. I want to keep going.
But if we make our little cards, we can just hand them out.
We can make our cards. But yeah, waiting for them to engage with us, it's probably, you're going to get a much higher percentage turnover in that. We can make the cards, and as cheesy as it is, we could also have shirts that are like, ask me about Mindwalk.
Yeah.
Or talk to me about Mindwalk.
Dan said if we gave him a pin or a patch, he'll wear it at work.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's we're getting there, guys. We're figuring it out. All it is branding. There's no content here. It's all just a fucking hour and a half commercial for the thing that you're actually listening to.
That's right.
That's the art. We're making art, and it's all just branding.
That's how it should be. Shouldn't every moment be so awesome that it sells itself?
Oh, that you're just like, I can't believe I'm eating this McDonald's. It's so amazing. I'm going to eat more of it. I guess there has to be the biggest brand, right? Why can't it be Mindwalk? Why can't Mindwalk Empire can't be the biggest brand?
Absolutely be the biggest brand. It can absolutely be the biggest brand. We just need 1 subscriber per step.
That's it. And what have we done? Like 250,000 steps so far?
I don't know. But now that we're taking track of our mileage, I mean, we have been since we started the Mind Walk, it's going to add up.
Yeah?
It's going to add up.
I mean, we've done at least, I don't know, 16, 18 miles on the first week. Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, that we do.
Like
This is the thing is like either going for length of time or amount of miles. I really think that the gold standard, the goal, is just to have a daily podcast.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Even if it's half an hour,
Yeah.
we have to get it out.
Yeah. Just a daily, just touch base with you guys every single day. Just every day you're going to go on a walk or a hike. Might as well put this on. It'll be a little silly, a little mindless. No, it's Mind Walk. It's mindful. It's full of mind.
But your tattoo says don't think.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Just get up and walk.
You can have a mindless
Yeah.
mind walk. I guess you
Mindless,
kind of
yeah.
have to have the mind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a walk and it's not a mind walk. Sean.
Well, you're just a zombie. Steps. Steps. I've
There's a
had
shirt idea, a zombie that's walking and just saying steps.
steps.
It's like a zombie wearing hiking gear. Steps.
I've done a few series jokes on Facebook, like what does a zombie farmer say? Grains,
Yeah.
I did 2 dozens of those. One I did years ago was I described all of the fantasy animal poops. Like a
okay.
unicorn had a rainbow sherbet with glitter in it.
Mm-hmm.
A fire dragon had a lava poop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did about probably 25 of those, just in a series of I gave it to myself as a writing exercise.
Sean, if you got an artist, I almost feel like I've seen this.
A children's book, a fanciful poops.
It doesn't even need to go that hard. Make a poster, an infographic poster.
Yeah.
That says the poops, scatological.
Oh, and have just all the little
and then
squares.
just have an illustration of each poop and a little description of each poop under the poop.
Yeah.
I think you could sell that poster easy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I might have been inspired from seeing something like a unicorn poop,
Right.
like flying in. Oh no, it was like a Pegasus poop, flying and pooping on somebody.
Well, the Pegasus poop could just be a poop with wings.
Oh, I think the way I did a Pegasus. Oh, it's like a glitter, not glimmer, like a Quicksilver like bird poop. Like it's all drippy like a bird poop, but it's like
I
silver
see.
like Quicksilver or Mercury. So, yeah, but exactly, like things like that. Like, yeah, that'd be great. And it's just like the picture of the poop, and it says what the animal is. Yeah, I just need to get the right artist on it. Hey guys, help me with that. And then also, I needed somebody to help me dig through my Facebook. I think it was 8 or 9 years ago that I did it.
And you're remembering it today.
I'm remembering it today. I mean, I've backed it up, and I've got various versions of it on my computer, but I've probably got, I don't know, 100,000 status updates on Facebook. And I don't know if it's searchable when it's in backup form.
I think perhaps we've seen this gentleman before, but then again, probably a lot of caballeros wearing hats and jeans and plaid shirts.
Got a bit of a cowboy vibe to him. How's it going? It's a beautiful day.
I say let's go up here a little bit.
Oh, well, how much time we got? It's almost noon.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't you have your...
My thing?
Yeah.
I guess there was another 10 minutes on the timer, but, I guess we don't have to milk it.
Whew. So, somehow, some way, still hit our target. I was not 100% going for that, but kind of intuitively leaning into that, and it happened.
Yeah, I guess we could just go by the clock and not the timer, right?
Yeah.
Considering our only moments when the recorder was off were just scant seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we'll give people more hours later on in the week for sure. If we're trying to make up 7.5 hours of content.
Yeah, if we have to make up any time, it'll only be probably half an hour or something.
But
if even that.
Until we get any Patreon subscribers, we can change the rules as much as we want.
But I like the 7.5 hour rule.
Oh, yeah. Because it means we're going on 7.5 hours of hikes a week, which is like that's the like.
But there's another.
The chef's kiss.
Yeah. I don't want to fudge with that number too much because I think it's just a good benchmark. I mean, the 5 hikes a week, 5 episodes a week, yes. I understand that that's ultimately more important. But I like the 7.5 hour target.
Yeah.
It'll keep us feeling fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Clear of mind.
I mean, we just did 3 hours like it wasn't shit. Except I am fucking beat down.
Like it wasn't shit. This podcast was shit.
Oh, yes. So
this was a shitty episode.
It was so poopy. And Barney didn't even take a poop on this episode. He took a poop on the last episode.
And it was also
finished
the camp story.
Yeah.
And so we talked a bit about camp and about we had an interaction with a woman and a gentleman, a lady and a gentleman, about masks and 6 feet and 20 feet and feelings surrounding that interaction. I'm kind of blurring this hike with the last hike because
they're all one hike.
They're all one mind walk.
Stop.
Every mind walk is the same. Every mind walk is different.
Okay, good. They're gone. He's gone. Oh, no, God, leave that alone. Leave it alone. Stop. Oh, gross.
It's like a weird mangy rat thing.
No, it's a baby fucking chipmunk or something. Like some kind of vole.
We'll get a little vole video. It's
no worries. Video. There's a little animal over here that my dog was into. So I was freaking out about that. There's a little animal that my dog was trying to eat. Yeah. He'll get along with.
Hey.
They're the right size to get along. They're fine. Come on, bud. Good boy. Good boy.
So what else?
What else? Well, we talked about like what to do with our poop. We talked about mythical animal poops.
Mm-hmm.
We talked.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Barney. Hey. Stop. Sorry about that. They got to figure things out sometimes.
Bro, sometimes, they don't like it. They don't like it.
So there's a little vole or something on the ground over there that my dog was sniffing at. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Just a little ground animal. So I was trying to keep your guy away from it. Oh, there he is. See right next to that little bush of. It's a vole or something. I don't know what it is. It's moving on its hind legs, not on its front legs. It's still alive, but it was moving very slowly, like it's injured, maybe. Maybe, but that's why I was trying to keep Barney from messing with it. I was hoping your guy didn't come over and want to bite too. Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
Sean.
Yeah.
We gotta get moving.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, you have a good day.
You too.
So the composting, yes.
Yeah, it's composting. Magical poops. What did you want to call it? Poop water?
Well, I'm not sure that I want to call it that. We talked about the amphitheater-like irrigation
Yeah,
hill
what is that?
thing
What is
we
that
weren't
thing?
sure what that was. So the poop is there, but now poop can still maybe be in the title, but there's some other thing that I'm feeling maybe should be in the title now.
Huh.
Negative 3,
Negative
negative 3,
three.
you never thought it would be. Negative
Negative
3,
three.
negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, subscribe to Mindwalk. Negative 3, follow Mindwalk Pod on all social media. Negative 3, become a Mindwalk patron on patreon.com. Mindwalk Pod. You never thought it would be Mindwalk Pod, and yet it be.
Negative
It be.
3.
Negative 3.
My oh.
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 Mind walk. All right.
Bye, folks. See you next time.